Hello, welcome to Access. I'm Rob. Joining us is Nath.
Hello.
And today we are talking Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, the new Call of Duty for 2020, which has been revealed, Nath, and it's very exciting. We are going to be talking you through 7 reasons why we think the campaign specifically sounds incredibly exciting. Nath, as someone who's worked very hard recently on a massive retrospective look at the entire Black Ops story, I'm hoping you're going to be able to bless us with some insight and expertise as well as we go through the video.
And I'm also hoping that this video is going to point some people to that video because it took ages and I'd like some more people to watch
Well,
it.
we just have now. We'll put another link in the end screen as well. Go watch the Black Ops history. It's really, really good. You should watch it. Anyway, the first thing we need to talk about is the setting, because the game is, surprise, surprise, set during the Cold War, specifically in 1981. Now, I watched a presentation with various members of the Treyarch team who were talking about various aspects of the game. One thing they were very keen to stress was that this is very much Black Ops going back to its roots. I know we had Black Ops 1 and 2 were set during sort of a similar period. Black Ops 2 late 80s, Black Ops 1 was sort of more covering the Vietnam, but also that sort of paranoia vibe of the Cold War was very much present there. And that is what we're sort of going back to with Black Ops Cold War. It's got that sort of paranoia, conspiracy theory thing going on. The way they described it, which I really enjoyed, was that this is the next generation of plausible deniability. Which I thought was brilliant.
That is where it operates, isn't it? And I think that I'm excited about this, and you're telling me these things, and I've genuinely never heard them up until now. So I'm excited to hear that, and also because having done this video, you know that 3, well, half of 2, but 3 and then 4 go off into this future setting. They do retain that kind of those themes, like you said, the paranoia and that side of stuff which came from the Cold War. But the idea of actually going back to that setting and to the origin of the series that's exactly what I wanted.
And you'll be pleased to know, point number 2, that fan favourites such as Woods, Hudson and Mason are back. So
nice.
it's like the old team coming together.
The dysfunctional gang.
Yeah. But even more interestingly, I thought, is that David S. Goyer is back on the story team for Black Ops Cold War. A writer who worked on both Black Ops 1 and 2. Hasn't been on the series since, but also, if you don't know, David S. Goyer was also a film and television screenwriter. He wrote on Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. But just the fact that we've got those 3 characters, David S. Goyer back on the story team, is very much like we're going back to that kind of atmosphere of the first 2 Black Ops games.
I think, do you know what I said about them pulling the themes into the future, which was like, I can understand why that happened, you know, and why that was an interesting sort of route for the series to look at. But I think probably certainly going and making that older video and looking back at the old games, how much of the sense of Black Ops was actually tied up with the interactions between those characters.
Yeah.
They're like a sort of an Oliver Stone movie on some awful concoction of drugs. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like big macho, but together those characters are a lot of what makes Black Ops so good.
Definitely. It feels like Black Ops. You know, it feels like Black Ops is coming home. Number 3, your character, however, is completely customizable. So you get to create your own character from scratch. So you will be interacting with Woods, Hudson and Mason and all the other characters just as someone completely original, and you've got full control over what your character looks like. You can customize their skin tone. You can choose to be male or female or neither. You could be gender neutral if you like. So you can play Black Ops Cold War as you, if you like, or as, you know, some amazing creation. You don't have to be you. Like, you know, I don't have to play it as just bald, beardy glasses man if I don't want. I could be whoever I like. But I think that kind of freedom is really exciting, and that means also, of course, that you are going to be a silent protagonist in this game, which I think has that happened before in Call of Duty?
Well, I will say, Rob, that in Black Ops 3, when you were just the player, it turned out you were playing as perhaps the figment of a dying man's mind. So I am cautious on this on this point.
Well, who knows? Who knows? I don't want to speculate. What we can say, point number 4, is that we know when it's set in 1981, where it's set is quite varied. They were keen to stress this is an epic globe-trotting adventure, and they listed places. We've got Asia, Europe, North America, Latin America. So this adventure, in true Call of Duty style, really, is going to be taking you across the globe. And in the presentation, I was lucky enough to see sneak peeks of gameplay captured on a PS5, and
nice.
I have to stress it looks flipping amazing. I'm still not over the novelty of seeing PS5 gameplay footage, so I was trying to pay attention, but mostly I was just like, oh my god, it looks so good. But one that I really liked was we got a little sneak peek of a mission set in Ukraine. It was set in a Soviet training facility, and you know, usually when you play Call of Duty for the first time, the first mission is usually you with those little cardboard cutouts of people, and you have to shoot them and do, you know, practice. And it was a really nice flip on that idea where you are inside a training facility for the Soviet soldiers. They're running around shooting all the cardboard cutouts, but then you're there shooting them back for real. And it was really, it just looked amazing.
That's a good nod.
I wanted to see more of it. Number 5, back to sort of the whole atmosphere and the 80s setting. They were telling us all about how they want the game to look, and interestingly, how they'd taken inspiration from things like The Lives of Others and Chernobyl, which they mentioned specifically as well, which I thought was really interesting. They didn't want to give the game sort of like a fake grainy filter to make it look 80s, so the game is going to look beautiful and next gen and sharp, as you would expect. But in terms of how they make the game look 80s, they focus very heavily on how the lighting works, and more importantly than that, how the characters look, sort of what they wear, what their hairstyles are, what clothes they've got on. And I saw a gameplay snippet of some characters sitting around a meeting room, and it reminded me a lot of some of those scenes in Chernobyl, which I thought was such an amazing looking series. Just somehow captured the look and feel of people and places in the 80s. That sort of weird. Everyone had big, thick-rimmed glasses. That was like a main theme, and the big, thick-rimmed glasses are there on characters in Black Ops Cold War. Point number 6. This is going sort of more into the specifics of the story. There's a character called Russell Adler, who is this sort of cool, charismatic, quite dark CIA operative with an unknown past, and he's sort of in charge of this team that you are part of, and he has been tasked by President Ronald Reagan, who looks amazing, by the way. Like, an amazingly realised Ronald Reagan is there giving you missions in this cutscene. But your job is to take on a spy called Perseus. Interestingly, Perseus is I don't want to say a real-life spy, but the name Perseus does exist in real life. He's sort of a conspiracy theorist's favourite. Allegedly, there was a Soviet spy called Perseus who infiltrated the United States during the Manhattan Project. And the story goes that this spy was still there in the Cold War, sort of undermining and destabilizing the United States this entire time. And the story, this spy is quite integral to the story. Your job is basically to capture and defeat Perseus. So they've taken, you know, it's a fictional story, obviously, but they've taken elements of history and just basically had a bit of fun with them.
That's classic Black Ops. That's what it's all about.
So we're going to get this really cool story, hopefully, of you chasing down this cool spy. It's a really, I love the idea of, you know, the next generation of plausible deniability, going on these secret, not technically legal missions. And yeah, it just looks really, really cool. Number 7, which I thought was fascinating, was when they were initially recording sort of all the scenes for the story, lockdown struck them. And we saw some amazing footage of how they'd sent recording equipment to all of the actors' homes, and they were directing all of these scenes remotely over video conferencing. And apparently what initially turned out to be something they thought was going to be a problem actually turned into this amazing situation where they were able to expand the cast beyond what they initially thought was possible, because the logistical problem of getting people to their recording studio in Los Angeles just wasn't an issue anymore. And so they've ended up with this cast that is bigger and more varied and more diverse than was initially planned. Because of this lockdown situation. And we saw amazing footage of actors sort of in their homes with mattresses on the floor, sort of diving onto mattresses, duvets hung up on the wall to soundproof the rooms. It was really, really fascinating.
It's like when we do VO at home, Rob, we're always jumping onto mattresses.
Yes, exactly. Recording everything you hear from us has been recorded under a duvet cover. Okay, and just before we go, bonus point for you all. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is out on November the 13th.
Just casually dropping the release date
there.
There
it is. That's when it's coming. It's very, very exciting. So yeah, I am genuinely really excited. I've not played Black Ops since Black Ops 2. Watching the video that you've worked very hard on, Nath, just to plug it again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Has made me quite sad about that, but I'm also very excited to get back with the gang and sort of go back to the roots of Black Ops. And I love the whole conspiracy. I find that kind of thing fascinating and very exciting. Just playing with elements of history. Apparently they took recently declassified US government documents.
There has been a lot of stuff from the
real
from
life
the 60s.
Ones. And they used that in their world building. So while they were very keen to stress this is a completely fictional story.
This is point 8. What's going on here?
I just remembered this thing. I just remembered, and it's really cool. So they've, it's a fictional story, but they've used things from real history to help them build this convincing world. And it's really, really exciting. It looks unbelievably good. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you make of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Give us a like if you found this video helpful. Go and watch our exhaustive History of Black Ops video, which you should be seeing a link to on screen right now. And don't forget to subscribe, because we will have more on Black Ops Cold War coming up very soon. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.
PlayStation